Okay, this first video is about practicing straight lines. And so you could start with, you could start using compressed charcoal. You could use charcoal pencil. It really doesn't matter. The idea is the motion itself. And so if we're trying to create straight lines, you could consider practices like this. You could start by creating more or less small lines that are parallel, that start out from one location to the next, that you kind of foresee in some ways. You could kind of ghost it this way. And the idea is to work from the elbow or from the shoulder, not so much from the wrist, because you won't get long enough lines when you start working from your wrist. So anything lower, that is here or here, they're just short actions. So you want to try to practice this kind of a thing, for a good while. Okay. Following that up, you can actually do even longer lines, but the speed itself will determine quite a bit of the straightening of the line. So if you try to slow down like that, you can see it just quickly loses that beautiful angular feel to it. So you want to go fairly fast enough to be comfortable, but also executing your goal. You could kind of stay within a certain parameter, aiming for that kind of a parameter. You can do other things like point to point, that is from here to here. I'm going to aim. Again, it's the same idea, you're just sort of kind of getting at something, right? You're aiming for something. So point to point, you can cross points, and you can work, this way, that way, whatever way you need to practice. You can do that. Whatever way that you feel uncomfortable, or you don't feel like you're very proficient, you should practice that more. Here's another one where you can put a point in the middle, and then you can try to go through that or over that, and then sort of following up every time, hitting that middle part. And you can see like that's a little wonky, so I would straighten that out. The paper is a little bit flimsy here, so make sure your surface is pretty straight up or flat and so forth. If you're working on a table, that's probably even better. I prefer to work upright on an easel. Want that. So this is sort of a star formation kind of a thing. The other is other things you can do where you can start to create shapes, that is basic shapes like triangles, rectangles. But the aim would be basically to continue straighter lines in, so you don't want to go anything organic, at least not for this part, right? So I'm just trying to continue this practice of creating straight lines. Okay, so you could do piles and piles of this kind of a practice. Like I said, you can do them with a charcoal pencil. You can do it with a pencil. Here's a pencil, a 4B, and same idea, right? Hard to see, obviously, on this paper, so we use charcoal. But you could use this on a regular paper. It would really be the same. So that's a good amount of stuff that you could practice for angular straight lines.